Hello and welcome back to another hardcore episode. Now you might be thinking, wow, you look way shinier than last time we saw you. And that would be correct. I've done a live stream in between things where I went caving and almost died. Good for the iron throat. Oh, sneaky old creeper there. But luckily I've got reaction timings like someone who has at least played the game before. So I didn't die. How incredible is that? Now, last time out, it was day 43. It's now day 98. So I have done a little bit of work between the stream and now, which, as you can see behind me, is villages, because there is simply no way to make villages interesting. Not one way that you can make trading with villagers interesting. They are annoying. They are loud. They're incredibly loud right now. Just so annoying. So what I did do was grow trees, chop trees, trade for sticks, trade for emeralds, trade for XP, trade for books, and here we are. We've got full set of stuff. The only thing I'm missing at the moment in terms of armor and tools is depth strider on the boots and a bow. But I've got everything else. I've got a few more tools there. I've got hose all lined up. Everything here is lined up in the villages here, and you know, I started off with these oak trees, chopping them down, and then I moved on to jungle ones because why not? Why not? Yeah, and that's just what happened. There's a bit of sugarcane going in between as well, but we got some nice trades with the villagers here, and yeah, that's how we started off. That's why we are now so far into things, because there's no interesting way of villager trading, because it is boring, but it is a necessary evil in order to progress through the game here. But that is all for our starting bit. We have now got to head on over back to our starting hut. We just set up this little temporary village trading setup over here, and it will be the first thing I build when we finish off the entire starting island. So I want to get a proper place in for the villagers, but we don't have that yet, because we don't even have an island yet. We don't even have an island yet in order for us to thrive off of. We got part of an island, which has got a big hole in the bottom. Now this place looks a little bit different from last time. You might not be able to see it unless you've got eagle eyes. It's the cows. It's the cows. Yeah, the cows are different. We put some cows in here, and they love jumping at the fence there. They just love hiding in these gaps here. You know, you won't see any of them roaming in the middle of the pen because AI mob behavior is awful, absolutely terrible. But it is able to be manipulated, which is what I've done here. You can see there's carpet. They can roam out. I mean, there's nowhere to roam to, but they can roam out if they wanted to. They could walk over it, but they can't. They can't get out of it. They cannot get out. And we will put that to the test for this piece of wheat that we've just stolen from our storage system. Look, hello cows, your favourite food. Oh, follow me this way. No? Why don't you want to come out this way? Is it something I said? Is the wheat bad? No, you liked the wheat earlier, but as soon as I cross over this moss carpet threshold, you don't want out. What about over here? Same thing again. They don't want out. And that is the mechanic that we are going to be manipulating today, because we are using mob behaviors in order to keep them trapped inside of an area. And the way that we've done this is through carpets and lava. So the trick usually is berry bushes underneath carpets. I obviously don't have very easy access to berry bushes because they are miles away. I would have spruce wood by now. I'd have spruce saplings by now if they were a lot closer. So what we've done is we put lava underneath the moss carpet, and yes, carpet on top of liquids. You can place carpet on top of liquids, you can place it on top of flowing liquids and the source blocks. The carpet registers it as a block. You've got to, of course, place from the side, because if you try and place it here, the lava is just going to flow back over it, so you've got to do that. Place it against the block so that it places on top. It also means that it doesn't make a noise because there's a block covering it. Lava doesn't make a noise if there's block covering it. So it's perfect. It emits light as well. So this is the ideal solution for us. It means we don't have to go and get those berry bushes, which would be the normal solution otherwise. And it's keeping our cows in this pen here, even though they could just walk out. I can just walk out. So that is the trick that we're going to do, and we're going to do it with the most annoying creature in this game this episode. We are going to do it with the villagers that I've spent so many days trading with and trying to get the right trades from them, and just being thoroughly annoyed by them. They are awful things, but we are going to take advantage of them. We are going to make them farm for us. I have been playing around in the testing world. If you joined us for the creative stream, you would have seen kind of the design that we are going for, a little bit of a villager farm over in this area here. I've started clearing out the space of where it's going to go, but it's going to fill in all of this big space over here, and it's going to be a carrot and potato farm, which we can then hoard up. We can trade with villagers. We can get a load of resources from that. We can then trade with the farmers to then get golden carrots and sort us out our food source. So that is the plan for the episode. I have, in fact, been collecting resources, and we are missing just a few now. We are missing, that's the wrong button, I need to press two of them once, a lot of dirt. There's a lot of dirt going around here. So as you can see, we are missing about a chest full of dirt, because, you know, this is where we live. We live in a desert. There's hardly any dirt, usually abundant amount of dirt, but because we're in desert, there's hardly any of it. So we've got to go and find ourselves a way to get some dirt. Hoppers. We need 2 stacks of hoppers. We need a lot of iron. That's 10 stacks of iron. These cows are annoying. And we do not have 10 stacks of iron. In fact, I think we only have about 1 stack of iron. And hardly any of it is in this chest here. So that's job number 2. Job number 3, it's of course spruce. We know already that we do not have any trees. And I did find a wandering trader. Oh, look at that. After how many days are we on? 89 days, and it's our second wandering trader. Please have something useful. The mangrove is okay, I guess. The mangrove's fine. That's a new tree type. We'll take the dark oak. We'll take the blue ice as well, I guess. And that's about it. I really need those spruce saplings. But comes with leads. There's a little bit of wool there. That's not particularly necessary. I can slab that. That doesn't have to be carpet. That's fine. Again, more spruce. Observers. We need observers. Or at least a way to make a clock. But I need to go into the nether anyway to get some soul sand. So that's that. We need to go to the nether next. This could be the day 99. We're on day 99. And we're going to the nether. And we're in a not my favourite spawn location here. Zombified ones there, that's fine. Right, we can get our soul sand though. That's all the soul sand we need. We need quartz now. So we're just going to... It's nice and easy. We're no trouble. We're no trouble at all. Okay, that's a terrible spot. Absolute terrible spot. But we can get the quartz. Okay, that was far too easy. And then again, some more wool. Wow, enchanted tools just make such a big difference. You know, when you first get your regular tools, mining stuff takes ages. But that dirt mining was so easy. We got all of that. We've got all of our resources now. That should be everything that we need to make a start on our build. And of course, with the idea of free-range villagers coming into play, we need to be able to farm up the resources to breed the villagers, as well as build the breeder itself. So we're going to start off by building up the terrain of our breeder and our farm, and then we're going to bring the villagers over and then get the actual breeder in, the storage and all of the farms in over in this big area over here. We're going to need to go and get some villagers probably from down the road to populate the breeder and then populate the farm. So let's jump right into the time lapse. Okay then, so foundations are in place. I've got 2 villagers over here, And I think now is the easiest way to explain how this works in terms of free range villagers and kind of not enclosing them too much so that we can kind of work with them and their mechanics. So what we've got here is that we've got 4 pods of farming areas here that look like they're open, but because there's lava underneath these carpets, the villagers aren't going to escape. This is of course only 1 level here. They are going to need to be built up a little bit higher, the walls. So you've got 1 farmer in the square here who's just going to farm away, and then 1 villager unfortunately is going to be locked away in this little box here, and the villager is going to of course try and throw the carrots to the villager here, but there is a hopper minecart in this block here, which then hopper line all the way down here, which is going to go into this building here, which is going to store ourselves our carrots and then our potatoes over on that side. This building is going to be our villager breeder. So in here, we're going to have a villager breeder pretty much where I'm stood. We've got these 2 guys here. They'll pop out the baby villagers, and then they'll fall down into here, and then they'll then come out this way. So it's a kind of a one-way system. This building is going to be completely blocked off unless you are a human and can crawl. Or human? Are we human? The player. Unless you're the player and can crawl through. So we've got these here set up over to the sides. The only thing that can, that can ruin this, it's not the husk. Zombies can't walk in. Regular zombies can't walk in. Zombies with spears and the camel husk. The camel husk can just walk over these walls. So we've got to keep this area still nice and lit up. We can't play around with light. We can't, because there's going to be husks, camel husks. Just especially over here at this little tip here. You can just walk straight over and they can come in, and then they can just walk straight over the walls and ruin my day. Absolutely ruin my day. So we do have to keep things nice and bright, especially around the farms here. I want to keep everything at level 9 so the carrots and stuff will carry on growing overnight, even when normal sunlight wouldn't be reaching it. We've got the manual light keeping a watchful eye over. But we are only halfway through this build here. We've got to finish it off. We've got to get the villager breeding house in, storage house in, and then also completely finish off these walls here. So we've got plenty more to do. So we've done it. Build is in. We've got our farms here and here. And we've got our 2 buildings here. We've got a nice storage system here where we can store up our carrots and our potatoes here. And we've even got overflow protection. So if we do overflow, we've got another chest in the middle here. There's a composter behind that. And so we can then change all of it into bone meal if we do eventually end up overloading it, but it's not working at the moment. We don't have the villagers in, so that's what we've got here behind us is our villager breeder. So if we go ahead, we grab a load of these carrots here that I've harvested earlier, and we're going to enter into our breeder room here, and any babies will pop out the other side. Now this is how we would be doing our free range villagers, but I need to put some into farms, so they're not free range just yet. So we just come over here. No, we do not. We simply go up the top there, chest, put the carrots in there, close that back up, and if we go into free cam and press F3 as well, which I didn't mean to, we can see here that it goes into a little breeder here. So these villagers will breed, and they will spit out the baby, and it will come down and out and hopefully into one of those boats there for us to then transport into one of the farming pods here, or into the bit where you throw the villagers throw it at. So we've got that to do. So while we wait, we've got one last little bit to finish off the build, I think, which is a little custom tree. There we go, nice little custom tree there, really brings out a little bit more greenery into the things, changes the skyline a little bit. adds a little bit of detail. And it did not take very long, so I'm going to assume that there... Oh, we do have a baby villager. We got one of them, but we're going to need 8 of them in order to fill out our farm. So I'll do a little bit of a manual work here, fill up some time maybe. Maybe push this riverbank back a little bit so there's less chance of zombies and stuff coming in from the wild. So just got to wait for some villagers to finish up breeding, I guess. Okay, the villagers are all in, and they're all grown up. They're all farming for us, and we've even had a few little baby ones running around, some free range ones. Although I'm not too sure where they've gotten to, because they can just run away, and who knows what they. Oh, okay. Well, we found one of the babies that ran away. They have found the only hole here. I wonder if the other one's around here somewhere. No, it doesn't look like it. But they're now free to roam around, and we are now getting production of carrots and potatoes now automatically. So that is good. I've done a little bit of trading with the villagers as well. They're all farmers with both the carrot and the potato trade in order to make the most out of them, because that's what we're growing. No point getting wheat and beetroot because we're not growing those here, are we? We're growing carrots and potatoes, and they are working just as we intended here. You know, they can't leave. All tested out. It's perfect. I'm very happy with this here for our little starter farms. We made some nice progression there, and we've done a little bit of some nice building as well. So these would be residential houses in the game Assassin's Creed Origins, whereas we are now using them for purpose in our little farming area here. This is a starter island that we're working on here, so we're not going to get too advanced with the things that we're doing. We're just going to kind of do some basic, very basic farming stuff to fill ourselves out on the island and get ourselves a nice foothold in the area before we move on to some bigger stuff here. But we have quite a little bit to go here. So as you can see, this whole thing here is going to be part of the island. We've done a very small amount, but we've got a star house and we have a farming and villager breeder set up. So I'm very, very happy with our progress here today. As we take a look behind us in our YouTuber F5 mode, we can relax knowing that we have made some excellent progress in today's episode. And I would like to thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment of what your favourite vegetable is in the comments below, and do all the other YouTube stuff as well. I will see you next time. Hopefully we'll see a live stream between now and that next one, maybe doing some creative planning, finishing out the rest of the island, but no promises there. Thank you very much, and goodbye.